Former, more on that in a moment. But I'll tell you who is nice, new, and shiny every time we talk to him, and it's his busiest season in a long time. I'm talking about the weather god, Spencer Christian, everybody. Come on, ABC 7.
There he is.
Yeah, he does.
He's so cute.
He is the cutest. Somebody said to me, gosh, Spencer Christian looks exactly the same as he did when he was doing Good Morning America. And I know it's terrific, pal. You look amazing. You really do.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. I try to take care of myself, try to eat well, exercise a little bit, and think youthful thoughts.
That's it. Think youthful thoughts. Well, that is, I love that. I love that plan. I will tell you that I want to touch on a couple of quick things. We won't hold you long, but I will first start with the short-term forecast, and then I want to get to our reservoir levels and where we are in terms of drought. But first, if you would just give us a sense of, the road ahead in the next few days.
Okay, well, first I want to tell you, I can't remember the last time I was so excited about seeing sunshine.
It's true. In a drought-ravaged state, that's true, huh?
Oh, so we have another level 2 storm coming in tomorrow. It looks like, at the moment, the most intense part of the storm will be between about 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. So we're talking about pretty much an all-day storm. Excuse me. Then on Saturday, an even stronger storm, a level 3, on the exclusive ABC 7 storm impact scale.
Yeah.
That comes in on Saturday. It looks like the most intense part of that storm will be from 6 a.m. to about noon, which leads us into what it'll be like for the Niners game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
25. Even though we expect the heavy downpours and the strongest wind gusts to have tapered off by then, there still could be some showers during the game. But we don't expect the most furious part of the storm to be going on at that hour.
So the heaviest rain before the game actually starts. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, from early morning, like around 6 a.m. till about noon. And then in the early afternoon, as the game's getting underway, the storm should be winding down.
As you look at longer range forecast, the next 10 days, let's say, Spencer, there are additional storms on tap?
There are. It looks like they'll be lighter. Now, this level 3 for Saturday kind of caught us by surprise a little bit. We were expecting Friday's storm to be more of a light storm, like a level 1, Saturday maybe a level 2. But now all of a sudden, both have been, energized. So level 2 followed by level 3. But then going into next week, we're looking at like a level 1 each day into about Thursday of next week.
So that's sort of would you call that kind of an unsettled pattern then, as opposed to an organized system?
That's what we call it. From one weatherman to another.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, I do once in a while. I can pull out the. So I like to talk weatherman to weatherman, once in a while. Let's talk drought. Okay, I saw this posted by your colleague, Drew Tuma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And let's take a look at the drought monitor graphic.
Yeah.
And this is something that we touched on. If you were with us a couple of days ago, we were talking about the fact that the terms for the drought are, and I'll get to the good news, but the terms of the drought are confusing. Okay, they remind me of the COVID terms, because at the beginning of COVID, remember they had the color coding?
Yeah.
At the beginning of COVID, red wasn't the worst. And I thought, why isn't red the worst? Red is what we all associate with it being the worst. It's in the red zone. No, purple, I think, was the worst when we started with COVID. Anyway, Sure enough, here, red isn't the worst either. And the terminology is insanely confusing. So severe, if you look up the drought monitor on your screen, it goes dry, moderate, severe, extreme, exceptional. So severe isn't the worst. It's actually two from the worst.
Right. It's right there in the middle.
Extreme isn't the worst. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, but okay, now to the specifics. All right, but it is what it is. So as we look at this, I guess much of this is all of California. Those of you who are listening to a podcast, we will just mention that most of California is in the moderate to severe category. And I'll remind you that severe is two off of the worst, which is exceptional.
Right.
if you look at the Bay Area, Tony, can you go to the next one, and then I'll let Spencer speak. The Bay Area actually looking much better. Look at that, Spencer. It's essentially moderate.
Yeah. Looking so much better. So, Mark, you may recall that last fall, going into the rainy season, which begins October 1st, excuse me, the Bay Area was in either severe or extreme drought. And we had virtually to our east, virtually all of the San Joaquin Valley was in exceptional drought. That was the worst part of the state for drought rankings. And now the Bay Area is in moderate zone, which is really good. And much of California is now only in severe. So we've had quite a significant improvement from these recent rains.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary thing because you always look at these storms and we always think, is this the drought buster? Is this the drought buster? And it's very hard to get a drought buster storm for an 8-year drought. You know, I mean, it took a long time to get here type thing. Yeah. And they are not saying, I guess, Spencer, I mean, those who are hydrologists and check on snowpack and this sort of thing, they're not saying we're out of it at all. But they're saying that these are huge difference makers, these storms that have moved through.
That's right. And this is where we stand right now, of course. And now if we continue to get some occasional rains or heavy rains, of course, we'll remain in this really good ranking on the drought monitor. But, you know, if we get a couple of dry months all of a sudden, as we did at one point last winter, we could slip right back into some of these more concerning categories.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer's so right to mention this, that last year we had this, again, historic, I mean, record-setting December, and then nothing for January and February. And March, which is, the first part of March, we typically get some pretty good rains, potentially. But these are our wet months, January and February, so, so far so good. All right, pal, you're the best to, always answer the bat beam for us, man. We nothing but love, so really appreciate it.
Right. Kim?
I love you. I didn't get to ask you about Monterey. I'll ask about it next time.
Okay.
Oh, I want to hear more. All right. But do you mean Monterey weather-wise, or you mean Monterey?
What are you thinking about?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you. It sounded like you guys were planning a weekend together. I don't know what you're saying.
That'd be awesome.
What?
In Monterey County. Right. Let's go.
Let's tell. Well, Monterey actually has their flooding concerns in Monterey County. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, because there was a story. Here we're going for it.
Go
there's
ahead.
a story that the Monterey Peninsula may become its own island.
No, I saw that.
Because the Salinas River is rising, and it can block drivers on Highway 68 and Highway 1. National Weather Service says it could reach a flood stage by this afternoon. Okay. So that's what I wanted to check in with Spencer about.
Yeah. And I didn't know about that until I talked to Kim this morning. And so, if that were to happen, I don't know how long it would take for those waters to recede and for people to be able to get in and out again. But it looks pretty bad, though. And if they're talking about, I mean, it sounds almost like a joke, but obviously it's a serious matter. If they're talking about Monterey becoming an island for a while because of the flooding, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's impassable. So it essentially is. It's isolated.
On a lighter note, Kim and I will now have to find another rendezvous point because.
You know where else we're not going? We're not going to Wilton because they had a tornado, a level 1 tornado yesterday.
Whoa.
Wow.
Apparently it touched down for a half a mile, took down a bunch of trees. Wilton is near Stockton, I believe.
Wow.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, that is.
It was great. I loved it.
Well, I think it was not great. It's not great. But I'm glad that there was no damage done apart from the trees, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, to life and property.
Your other guests, you've got other stuff to do.
Spencer, we love you. Talk to you soon. Spencer Christian, everybody.